Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. I talk to people in city government, the school system, and businesses in the Wadsworth community. Recently, I did a show on Firestone Stadium, and they're starting the softball finals as we speak today and also over the weekend. Also, we did a show with Jackson Joy and Nick Tavanello, the only three-time state champions in Wadsworth history and Medina County history for that matter. We have Mr. Bosley on the show today, Maxx Bosley, two X's.
Yes, sir.
Two X's, and he has, speaking of records, he has scored the most points in boys basketball in Wadsworth history and the single season.
Yes, sir.
Most points in a single season. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and thanks for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
How did you first get involved in basketball?
Yeah, just kind of going through my whole life, it's been in my blood. My dad's was a basketball player, and kind of it's just been like engraved in me. And I've always went to basketball games with my dad, and we just like always had a ball in my hand since I was younger up to this day. So yeah.
Yeah, I read an article that your dad really never pushed you or said you must do this or you won't be in my good graces. He just kind of let it go, and you just got excited about basketball and worked very hard at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a very loving dad to me, and that's very nice. Obviously, I still have a lot of pressure to make him proud, but I know he will love me no matter what. But yeah, it's always been love, and he obviously wants the best for me. So,
played it locally down in Stark County, Jackson High School, and I think you didn't quite have as many points as he did.
No,
he had over 2,000 points. Is that? I read an article. Is that correct?
That is very true. He could score the basketball way more than. He was special. Besides
your dad, who else encouraged you along the way? Maybe when you just got started, or in the middle school or high school. Who were some encouragers for you?
Yeah, obviously I have to say my mother. She's amazing, and I'd say also my stepmother too. That they were both awesome, and I had my dad as a coach all the way up from since I started all the way up to about 7th grade, and then I had a different coach in 8th grade, and then just kind of all of the people around me, family / friends, and just always had encouraging people around me. So yeah.
I read an article that Mr. Callahan, Solomon Callahan, was a friend of yours, good teammate.
Yeah, for sure.
And how did you two bond?
Oh, we're still amazing friends to this day. Obviously, he is an amazing basketball player, and me and him, since we started playing together in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, and then I actually played up, and then when we got to high school, me and him, we were in the gym together literally so many times a week, and I'm just so incredibly thankful for him. He's not any type of kid where he's just gonna be on his own. He's encouraging and just a really good kid, and he's an amazing basketball player, and he's literally taught me so much, and I'm very, very, very thankful for his friendship towards me.
So it sounds like you're saying it just doesn't happen. The basketball, you have to really put the time into it,
for sure.
And you really have to go ahead and be coachable and listen to the coaches and just try to get better with little things each and every year.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes with just basketball is a hard sport, and you have to love it to be able to be successful, I'd say. But I was always told the more you love the game, the more it'll love you back. And just becoming obsessed, in the gym, and then your hard work will pay off. So yeah, for sure.
Tell us about last February. Wadsworth was playing the Polar Bears of Jackson, and not only were you highlighted in that game, but also your dad had a special situation with him.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, he was a player there, and I've actually tried to been playing. I've been wanting to play there the past 4 years, and kind of just the time wasn't right, and to have God have that planned out for me to do that at their place and break the all-time scoring record, it was incredible. If that doesn't prove that there's a God, like that's just I don't know what does. And like that was truly a special night, and I was so blessed to have that. And yeah.
Before the show, you were telling us that they highlighted the team that he was on, introduced he and his teammates, coaches, and had a video of their, I think they made it to the state tournament, didn't they?
Correct. 1994 is his junior year. They beat Barberton, I believe, to go on to the state championship. And right before the game, they showed a video on the screen of them beating Barberton, and then they introduced all the coaches, players, and it was really cool to see that. And yeah, awesome.
Barberton had a very long history of basketball they loved, and Jack Reynolds was a longtime coach at Barberton. Not an easy task to beat the in fact, kind of purple, and I think Jackson has purple and white in their colors.
Yeah,
is that right?
Right, correct. I think they met up with him a couple of different times. Obviously, they were an amazing team from what I've heard throughout their time when my dad was playing.
No question about it. Well, tell us a little bit about the Suburban League. Now, Wadsworth, is not envied to be playing such teams as, Brecksville, Broadview Heights, Stowe has a tremendous tradition, and on and on and on. There's no breathers in our league, is there?
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's been challenging. We had a hard time this year with Brecksville, North Royalton. They were both on the top of our league, and it's been a challenge through my whole 4 years. But I never got to beat Brecksville, which was really unfortunate. But we played them well almost every time. There were a couple times where it wasn't close because they were in control almost the whole game. But it was a very good. I thought last year they were. That whole league was one of the best in Ohio, in my opinion, with Stowe going to almost states, Nordonia, Brecksville, North Royalton, like us. It was definitely a hard league. It was a little bit lighter this year, but still a tough league. But yeah.
And I'm sure the Wadsworth community enjoys seeing those very fine teams. Again, Brecksville, Stowe, Nordonia, as you say. And how has the Wadsworth community helped you and the team move forward?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I think Wadsworth's love towards sports, like they love their sports between football, wrestling, basketball, softball, baseball, all those good sports. It's kind of nice to have that to like be encouraged, and to know that every time I'm gonna have a game either on a Tuesday or Wednesday, the whole town is just gonna come and support, and I was very thankful for that. And so that was really, really nice to have that.
You touched on your faith a moment ago. How has your faith helped you in playing basketball and your acquaintances with other students and staff?
Yeah.
How has that assisted you?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of being in the church my whole life, and that's like, obviously God has given me so many blessings with basketball and school and all that stuff, and my identity is not through basketball. It is through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and it's like to know that He gives me these blessings and all of my opportunities to go out there, and I kind of just want to let people know that giving God the glory through all this, and He's going to be there with you no matter your troubles and your sorrows, and that's kind of what I'm all about. And I kind of like. I play basketball on the side, you could say, but my true identity is through God. So,
I know a little bit about religion. My daughter's a minister in Connecticut, United Church of Christ. She went to Elon University and then Andover Newton Seminary. And I agree with you that we can, in our own way, promote the Lord and His message to other people. And I'm sure you had some comments to your teammates to, if they were having a rough game, try to pick them up and be positive with them.
Yeah, it's just like being encourager is huge, and just to know that I'm a captain this year, and just having all of the stage was on me, and I couldn't get out of my zone. I had to stay locked in for obviously my teammates and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah.
I know a lot of the athletes can get better over the summer. Football players, in lifting, and they can work on their speed, and baseball can get on travel teams and everything. But I don't think any sport tops what a student athlete can do in basketball to improve and get better and work on various aspects of the game. Am I off base on that?
No, 100%. You're 100% right. It's I was actually just like, to think that I gotta wake up sometimes, go play basketball, go lift, and then go shoot, do ball handling. There's like, if you want to be a good player, like that, there's so many skills that will come with it, and you have to be skilled to be able to keep playing at the next level. So,
what are your ideas about maybe leaving some tradition and legacy here, helping some of the younger basketball players? You know, we see kind of a trend, not so much in Ohio, but other states, that a lot less kids are coming out for athletics. And that bothers me, because you learn so many things, as we've already talked about being in sports. How have you tried to motivate younger kids to play?
I think being around your friends and just enjoying the sport in general, and obviously the sport can make you drained and just physically tired, and I think if you can find joy in working hard, being with your friends, your coaches, there's nothing better than being on the field or court with your friends. So I think people can find joy in that for sure.
And you may have taken a younger player, maybe a sophomore, or maybe a junior that came out late under your wing and gave them some tips and some ideas, and they'll be a better player as a result.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think just knowing that being obsessed in the gym is like, that game will love you back so much if you can just be addicted, and you have to find happiness and joy in it, and just encouraging kids. And I think throughout it all, being a really good teammate and a friend is the most important thing, because there probably isn't kids who want to play with the best player if they're not an encourager, and they're not, and that's kind of what I try to breed to all of the younger kids, was just to work hard, encourage your teammates, and just be so uplifting, and not bring anybody down. So
yeah, it really, kind of, you get a little more result with sugar than criticism, and saying, oh, you should have did this, you should have did that.
For sure.
It really does help to be really positive in that situation.
Absolutely.
What was your favorite subject in high school? Since you just went through graduation recently, I understand.
Right. Yep.
What was your favorite subject?
I'd probably say math. I wasn't great at it, but when I worked hard at it, I enjoyed doing all of the math problems, and that was fun. So,
well, math opens up so many doors. You get into medicine, you get into accounting, engineering. Right. Just the number of positions and jobs. What will you study when you're going? And where are you going to college?
I am going to the University of Malone.
Okay.
To go play basketball. So
not that far away in Canton, Ohio,
in Canton,
but a very good basketball tradition.
Yep. Yeah.
And what will you be studying there?
Yeah, it's kind of all up in the air right now. I'm kind of leaning towards the business road, but a little bit of undecided right now. I'm still gonna take my first classes in my first semester.
Well, about a third of the students, when I was principal of Black River, I went around to all the colleges and found out some of the things they offered, and the tuition fees, and some other things. And a lot of the students were undecided. They really didn't know what they wanted to major in until maybe they got a year under the belt, and then they declared.
For sure.
How did it make you feel, that game at Jackson, where you did go ahead and get the single season record and your career points record at Wadsworth High School. How did that impact you?
Yeah, it was to think of where I was my freshman year, and to think that where I started, and just to have God have His hand on my heart the entire years of my career, and that night was so special, and I will never even begin to thank God for that moment. It was incredible, and just to think that I did it at my dad's old school is just that belongs in a storybook. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something that no one could have written for it. It just kind of happened. And we don't use at non-conference, as you said. You have so many non-conference games because you have a full league schedule, and there's just a few non-conference games early in the beginning, sometimes a year, sometimes at winter break, and then maybe at the end of the year. But it was kind of ironic that you would go ahead and have that game at Jackson, and games sometimes are won and lost at various places. Free throw line, how would you say your pressure free throws were? Were you a pretty good free throw shooter?
I was shooting about 90% in the beginning of the year, and then I kind of, towards the end of the year, I actually missed some game tying free throws that hurt, but I'm pretty sure I still shot 84% from the line. And then at Twinsburg, when we played them and we went to 3 overtimes, I actually broke the Medina County record for most free throws in a game. I made 27 out of 28.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And I broke that record. So that was a cool night to do that too. So
you must some of your game must be driving to the basket too.
Yeah.
You're not taking all threes, just standing in one spot and taking threes. You're going to the basket, right?
Yeah. I had 45 that night, and I had 27 were the free throws, and I think I only had 2 threes, and the rest were layups and stuff like that. So
what about if a young person's out there watching this show and they played and they just had maybe a mediocre career? We need officials.
Yeah, right.
We need referees in all sports. As a former athletic director, I can tell you. What would you tell someone, a girl or a boy, getting into officiating basketball?
Yeah, it seems a lot. From my perspective, me getting upset at an official, I need to give them some grace, because it's definitely harder than you think. But I think we do need more officials, and I don't want to say better ones, because we're all not perfect. But I think people need to maybe take that next step of doing it more, or be doing better at the higher level, at the lower level. So it's definitely a hard position. I don't think I'd ever want to be a referee.
Yeah. I tried basketball for a couple years. And even CYO or middle school, things happen so quickly.
Right.
Was it a charge? Was it a charge or a block?
Right.
I mean,
just don't know.
You don't have time to go ahead and
make that decision right there, and you either mess it up or you did it right, or fans are yelling at you.
No question. And again, you're enclosed. The fans are right there. They're right in the front row where the foul may have happened. But you get better. You just mentioned a moment ago, your first year was a little shaky, and then you got better. You learned things. Older kids and players talked to you. The coaches told you what you could focus, and you get better. You get more relaxed.
For sure.
And as you get into it, you get better, don't you?
Absolutely. Being a 4-year starter and going from starting my very first game and to having no confidence at all, and just to kind of going out there and trying to fit in, but at the same time you got to do your role. But kind of going through my high school career, I built so much more confidence, and to think that where I was and where I am now, it's pretty amazing, and I'm going to still go play more years, and to think how much better that I can get. But
will that confidence then transfer?
Yeah.
When you go to Malone, you'll certainly been around the block, and you maybe ask questions to some of the kids, maybe third or fourth year players there, and try to glean some information from them and your coaches.
Yeah, for sure. I just think that no matter the cause of, because unfortunately I'm only like 5'10", and I'm not 6'1" or 6'2" or 6'3", so I'm not gonna have an advantage at that. I'm just, my thing is just outwork everybody, just to be in the gym, be in the weight room, lifting, shooting, just outwork everybody and work as hard as possible and be coachable and do everything you can to set yourself apart from other people.
So I would imagine also quickness. You try to certainly outquick someone.
Yeah, for sure.
And utilize screens and backdoor cuts and everything in your bag to go ahead and get open.
Right.
And is there anyone in the NBA that you kind of tailor yourself after?
I'd probably say Jalen Brunson. He's kind of like a shorter guy, and he's real short and strong, but he's so good at just his footwork and being fast and then slow, and just like that guy is who like I would want to play as.
Yeah,
he has gotten so much better, and he's so much fun to watch.
Pays attention to detail.
Yeah.
And the Cavs could never hold him down. I tell you that they never even slowed him down one bit. But and when he was out of the lineup, he's hurt this year. The Knicks just were not the same team.
No.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
So in basketball, one or two players can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like this year when I wasn't playing well, it was hard for us to win, obviously, but we had Finn. Finn was incredible. He had an amazing year. And Finn Schmidt, who's actually going to play baseball at Malone too.
Okay.
Me and Finn are probably rooming together, which is
wonderful.
Which is,
wonderful.
Very cool. And he's become one of my closest friends. And when he started playing well, like our last game at Berea, he had like 25 and 14 and just played so well. And he got so much better, and then we had a bunch of younger guys who also were a bigger
part of the action.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, scoring is, and that was your forte. But defense, that's one side of the court,
right?
And then of course your assists and defense. Yeah. Did you get a lot of steals along the way?
I led the team in steals. I think I averaged like 2 steals a game, like 3 assists and like 5 or 6 boards. But yeah, there were times when I'd be so tired on offense because I'd get 2 or 3 guys at me, and then I'd get tired. But there's still no excuse, and you need to go back and go play hard for your team. And
I'm a coach from another team, and knowing that your background, you're a 4-year starter and averaging well into the 20s.
Yeah.
The focus would be to really slow you down. Yeah. And I'm sure you saw that throughout the year. Yeah. What were some of the defenses that maybe Brecksville or Stowe or Nordonia threw at you that you weren't expecting?
It was kind of first start of the game, they just would not let me get the ball. And
I denied you the ball.
Yeah. I got face guarded to the point where I had to just nonstop move, cut, screen, and then it would get me open, and I actually did well. But literally every single game, they would either run a zone, and then they would literally they would not let me get the ball, or just send 3 guys at me and make somebody else score. It was definitely very, very challenging, and to think I still had a pretty decent year, it's pretty humbling to know that all the coaches out there are doing everything they can to stop me.
So that would be opportunity for your teammates to step up. You say the center, Mr. Schmidt, stepped up and had some good games in the second half of the year. Yeah. And that would, they know that going in, that the other team wants to really stop you. So that gives opportunities for other players, and it's an opportunity for them to grow and get better in what they're doing as well.
Yeah, for sure.
What about, what will your major be at Malone?
So it's probably going to be business.
Okay,
it's still
kind of up in the air.
Still kind of up in the air, and I don't know totally. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'll probably end up in the we're
right.
down with business.
All right. What advice are you going to give, or have you given, to middle school players?
Yeah.
Someone just coming in, they played CityLink basketball,
Yeah.
and they're a 7th grader.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell them?
Yeah, I just say be in the gym and become obsessed, and the game will love you back. That's literally plain and simple, and find the joy in it, and the game will bring you down and you'll want to quit, but just I promise you, keep on going and keep fighting and keep working. There's something out there for you. I promise you.
In a lot of aspects, rebounding.
Yeah.
You can shoot 26 out of 27 free throws.
Yeah.
You can be you can be automatic at the free throw line.
Uh-huh.
You can play good defense, make steals. I mean, there's a lot of things that people can do to go ahead and be above average basketball player.
Yeah, there's so many ways to impact the game, and when for example, in a game when I wasn't either scoring well or my defense is bad, just go and find other ways to impact the game and help your team win. And not everything is going to be great every time, so just do the little things that'll help your team win.
Maxx Bosley, I learned a lot about you and about the Wadsworth basketball program. Thank you very much, and we'll keep in touch. Let us know. Let us know how things go at Malone.
For sure.
Very good tradition there. And
Yep.
you really play some local teams, but you play some Indiana and teams in Kentucky and everywhere, so that's good too. Thanks for viewing Bruce on the Loose, and we will have a show coming up. We'll have Brad Musgrave on, the retiring athletic director at the Wadsworth City Schools. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.